What it do, good people? Coming y'all live from Tez TV. I told you I was going to get a special, y'all. Baltimore on, y'all. West Baltimore on, y'all. King, speak your name.
What up, fellas? It's Draper coming in, West Baltimore. Happy to be kicking in, tapping in with Tez.
Already. And listen, man, we appreciate it, man. Dipper, we appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You blessing the platform. And let's get it started.
Exactly.
First question is, where you from?
I'm from West Baltimore, Lexington Terrace Projects, to be exact. You know, born and raised down Lexington Terrace, you know, and then moved again on the West Baltimore up there, Gilmore Homes Projects, once the buildings got torn down. And then I was just bouncing all over the city after that. But always Baltimore.
WB. Now listen, we listen, man. You know what, Tay? Because I'm gonna let you talk about that, but that's later. That's later on. What elementary school and middle school you went to?
Lexington Terrace Elementary School. I went there to the 6th grade, and then I went to Rockland, my 7th grade, and then 8th grade. I actually went out in the county like for the second half. My mother moved out in the like Parkville area.
Okay.
So I went out there. So I went to Lexington Terrace to the 6th, Rockland for the 7th, and then the 8th out in, I think it was called Pine Grove for the 8th grade year.
Now for the people that ain't know that for the people that don't know, you played football too.
Yeah,
so can you let the people know all the other sports that you played?
Yeah, football was my main thing. You know, I didn't even really care too much about basketball. It's just like when you grow up in the projects, you play sports every season. So I just played basketball just to play. But football is what I, you know what I'm saying, what I truly love, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I really cared about was football. Like in my 8th grade year, which was crazy, and I was in the county. I never even stayed out there. I just went to school, and then when school was over, I went straight back to the projects because I had football and everything else. So that's all I cared about was football.
Now listen, because they talk about you on that football thing. So you gotta tell us some stories before you even got to high school. Before you even picked the high school you went to, you got let us know the stats. Let us know your coaches you played for and a couple of your teammates. Yeah, let us know. Because when I heard some of the stuff you was doing, I was like, hell no.
Yeah. So growing up, you know, down in Terrace, my first time actually playing 7-9, we used to go down to Carroll Park. So we just used to walk down it, literally like through the project. And I didn't even know like position because in the project we play throw tackle. You play throw tackle, you don't even really know what's going on. But I realized I was confident in football because I was nice. You know, like when you know you confident in something.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was nice. You know what I'm saying? So like my first game at like 7-9, I had 3 touchdowns, just like off the rip.
Yeah.
I was scoring, and then my team, they turned into the 1st and 10 Cowboys. So we moved different places to practice and everything. So it became harder because we couldn't walk down there no more.
Okay.
And so, but the coach's name was Coach Tony. So Coach Tony was like, fuck that, you know, I'll come pick you up. If your mother can't do this, I can pick you up. And then like we played, our first year was in like the thickest league where they had Hanley Park 49ers, fucking Randallstown Rams. It was like Gardenville, like Eagle. It was crazy. And we won it. And like my first couple games, I was scoring, I probably scored maybe 15, 20 touchdowns that season. It was like crazy.
Now, people, listen, man. I'm asking these because he could have played football too. He could have listen, man. He could have played football too. He could have went to the NFL too. And I ain't just blowing it because there's too many people saying the same thing. Too many people saying the same thing. But look, we're gonna move it on. All right. Your 8th grade year.
Yeah.
You did choosing your high school. Why you choose Walbrook? Was there any other schools
That's a whole nother story. So when I was out in the county, my mother lived with her boyfriend. The craziest thing about that was it was like I never even like spent like days out in the county. It was just my mother go to work from like 3 to like 12. So as soon as I get out of school, she picked me up and I go straight to my grandmother's house.
Okay.
And I'd be at my grandmother's house until she got off work at the post office. So that was like 1 a.m.
Okay.
So I was doing that for almost like a whole year. So I started failing. Like I started falling asleep in class because I was tired. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd be there.
That's a long day. That's a long day.
Now I'd be in the project. So then I had to go to sleep. Then I'd wake up around 1. And then I had to wake up again at like 7 a.m. and go to class. So like towards the end of the year, like the last 4 months, my next door neighbor his name was Justin. You probably know him if you're saying. And him and his family and my mother asked, you know, can I stay out there for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So I stopped falling asleep. So they said, yeah. So like 2 days out the week, I would stay out. You know, I would stay out there, out in the county. And I was like, oh shit, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It was better living. And then old boy, he was like, yo, come to the tryouts. You know, like house league tryouts. Because I ain't never played AAU, none of that yet. Like nothing, basketball-wise. So I go to the tryouts in Prairie Hall, and I killed. So they was like, yo, we want you on the team, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nah, I'm still playing football right now. I only can be out here like 2 times a week. So the coach was like, shit, it don't matter. Whatever 2 days, we want you out here. So I stayed out there, and then basketball, you know, picked up. And it's a whole nother story with how I got found out by Cecil Kirk. I was there, not even in the city.
Hold up, though. We here for all that. We here for all that. So don't feel like you rushing it and nothing like that. We here for everything.
So when I was out there, those two days out the week, like the zone school was Parkville. So they signed me up like, okay, my 9th grade year, I'm gonna stay out there. I'm gonna go to Parkville. But in that time, my mother had broke up with her boyfriend. So then it was back to the city we go.
Right.
So like the first 2 months at Parkville, I was going from, at this time I'm staying with my father. He just came home from jail. So I'm moving up with him up the village. So I was going from the village to Parkville like every day. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember one day I came to school and they called me on the announcement like, oh, Mr. Draper, can you please come to the, come to the office? And they was like, we've been sending mail to your home, blah, 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 and you ain't really responding. It was like, we believe you don't live there no more. And I'm like, Yeah, then they kicked me out right then and there.
Okay.
So they kicked me out. So I was at Parkville literally for like 1 month and a half. And then I went to Walbrook, like 2 months. And then I went to Walbrook. And that's how I got to Walbrook.
Now, for the kids that's watching and for the parents that have to make these type of sacrifices, do y'all see the sacrifice that his mother himself, you know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy. It
was priming you for something bigger already. Because you was at a young age, you was kind of had to figure it out. All right, this. And salute to your mother too. Salute to her. You know what I'm saying?
Man, because she the one that was, she the one who was trying to like do something. You know what I'm saying? Like put me in the county school, but it just was like, it ain't work out.
Yeah.
But luckily for that situation, that's how my basketball career started for real.
Now, 9th grade year, you at Walbrook now. Who was the coach and who was on your team out there?
So when I ain't played my 9th grade year. I ain't played no high school ball my 9th grade year.
You didn't play football either?
Nothing. So when I got to Walbrook, it was basically like they had all that stuff and everything. And again, like I told you, I wasn't even like that much.
You wasn't on the radar like that.
Yeah, and I wasn't basketball. And I ain't even really had the feel to be like pushing the issue to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to play, but once I got to Walbrook, it was just meeting new people and everything. So when I got there, they was already had like their 10. They was already like kind of like somewhat started. And then my 10th grade year, came up, and then coach wanted me to play football. But at that time, I'm like, man, these niggas big as shit. He wanted me to straight, play varsity. And at that time, I was a skilled player. I ain't like to get hit. I ain't like to get touched. None of that. Man, so once I seen them big ass niggas, I'm like, nah. Then we had to like work out crazy. Like you had to be at the school at like 7 in the morning, lift weights. And that was my problem. I just was like natural. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to do all that. So I'm like, fuck it, let me focus on. That's when I focused on basketball, my 10th grade year.
Now your 10th grade year, was this before your 10th grade year? Did you go down Cecil that summer?
Yeah, so I was down Cecil my 9th grade year going into 10th grade. That was my first time ever like AAU everything. So Melvin Barty was refereeing. You know Melvin?
Yeah, shout out to Melvin.
So Melvin was refereeing one of my games. So he was like, yo, like, where you from? Like, where you come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to play in the city? And I was like, yeah, I ain't tripping about it. I'm like, but you gonna have to take me back and forwards because I told him my situation. Like, nah, you ain't got to worry about nothing.
Right.
He bring you down. So Melvin brought me down, and then I started liking basketball more. I started like knowing the players. Because I wasn't paying attention to none of that shit. So I didn't really know who was who. But once, like 9th grade, 10th grade, I was playing down Cecil. Then my basketball start to evolve.
Now you saying it like it's light that's light work because you had some people out here that started basketball at 6, worked real hard, but the talent, I don't care how many jump shots you take, how many dribbles you have, either you got it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You started. I'm gonna say you started late. I'm gonna say you started late because you wasn't. It's probably a good thing that you wasn't up on who this and who that.
Yeah, that was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really. I didn't really know because I only played in house league. So I played Lexington Terrace House League, played in Gilmore Homes House League, and I played in Prairie Hall Rec League. So I just played all rec leagues. And then once I got down to Cecil, then it became like, oh, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Like AAU, then you got niggas that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Then it became like, and at that time, it still wasn't crazy to me. Like I played JV my 10th grade year. You know what I'm saying? So it was still like, I was still like working into it, you know?
All right, so then we can move forward there. We can move forward going into your junior year. What you expect? Because now your confidence, I know is now it's starting to grow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your peers that respect starting to come. So,
exactly. So going into my 11th grade year, I wanted to, of course, stay on varsity and start. But my whole thing was I ain't even ever looking to. I just wanted to win. You know what I'm saying? We had me, Davon Haskins. We had a great team. I think we was like number 1 and number 2 in the city, like 11th or 12th grade year. And I just wanted to win. I was getting better too, and I was getting taller. I ain't never forget that. Like my 10th going to 11th grade year, I grew like 3 inches from like 5'9" to like no, it was like 5'8" to like 5'11", like over that summer.
This wasn't even one of my questions, but what was the first time you dunked?
Oh, I was dunking 9th and 10th grade because I got long ass arms. So I was dunking like 10th grade, 11th grade.
Shit, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then still like going into the 11th grade, I still didn't. I had confidence, but it wasn't like football. You know, it wasn't like everyone came to see me play. You know what I'm saying? I knew I could play, but I knew I wasn't that. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that feeling. I know exactly where you're coming from. Because it's like you motherfuckers telling you that you can play. You know you can play, but it's like your name really ain't ringing like that. But you want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Type deal.
Exactly. That's exactly how it was. So even like my 11th grade year was just like I was just playing. You know what I'm saying? I knew. But one thing I did know that I can dribble and I was fast. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't really shoot. I knew I could get wherever I wanted to get because I had handles. You know what I'm saying? So that was a play. But I still wasn't there like mentally basketball, it was like Davon Haskins, Tynell. I was probably the last option. Tynell, Davon, Tynell, Steve Woodard, Jamal. You know what I'm saying? We had
Yeah, shout out to those guys too.
But it was Davon. It was Davon's show. You know what I'm saying?
Davon was smooth. Y'all tell Davon, y'all see Davon, tell Davon I'm looking for him. Now, hold up. You gotta run this fast because you was on that AAU team where y'all went undefeated for 2 years.
No, hell no.
Was you on that team with Kenny Mine in there?
Who?
With Kenny Mine and Mello?
No, I played with Cecil.
Oh yeah, but you ain't played with Baltimore Select on
I played one little tournament with them in DC.
Okay.
I was Cecil. You know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy because I was the only West Baltimore guy on Cecil. And how I got to Cecil was from the county. So on my team, we was all right, but the younger team was like that. They had Rudy Gay, Josh Boone. Them niggas had the squad, the younger team, so they normally played up with us. You know what I'm saying? So, but my years in AAU, we was kind of light.
You sound like me like, oh, there no, but that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna talk about it.
The other team was like that. They had Tay and all. Did you play with Cecil?
Yeah.
Who you played with Oliver?
No, this what I did. I played with Cecil 10th. I came down with Cecil my 9th grade. She was my 11th grade year. And then I talked to Bucky. When I went to prep school, man, Bucky, we communicated all season long. And at this time, I was kind of frustrated at Duty because Duty promised me that he was going to get me into prep school.
Right.
And he didn't. And I got my own stuff in the prep school. So I'm like, I can't deal with him no more. So me and Bucky kept a good relationship. And then I promised him I was going to play. He passed before AAU started. So I said, you know what? I'm still going to play with Oliver. We played for Oliver. We went down there and won 19 under AAU national championship. So that was R.I.P. Bucky Lee. But that's
R.I.P. Bucky Lee. Yeah, so I was young, and I remember Tay, Big Dipper, all those guys. That's when I really start watching high school basketball because up until then I ain't know nobody. Like all the niggas, I wasn't even really paying attention to basketball like that.
So now, all right, your senior year, how you did you go to you had your senior year, right?
Mm-hmm.
How your recruiting go? Because you already went like that on a circuit, you know, it could be shaky a little bit.
Yeah. So I had a really good AAU national, so like really good AAU national. We played well. And then I was getting like a lot of mid-majors and then like UMass, like trickling, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing crazy, you know, but College of Charleston, they was persistent. You know, they seen something from me, like even from like the beginning. But my senior year, I ain't had the grades or nothing, but I finally, you know, got what I needed. And then Duty found me at prep school, what you just said. Duty found me in prep school. You know? And it's crazy because my mother was like, you gotta hold back. Cause I ain't graduate from Walbrook. Duty was like, yo, you go there for a year.
Same thing. I did the same thing to you. I ain't graduated from Dunbar.
But I'm thinking like, I'm going to like a prep school like everyone else going to, like where you like straight hoop, like they fucking around, give you the grades, you know what I'm saying? Like how everybody else was doing. Man, I went to a real live prep school. You know what I'm saying? Shirt, tie, blazing, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That shit changed my life, but still, it was just like, dang. But
what was the name of the school?
Trinity Paulin, upstate New York.
Okay. How was it there? How was the competition there? Who was the coach?
Bill Casson. So Bill Casson was a coach. He coached Cheshire Academy. You probably know Cheshire Academy.
Yeah.
So he was like one of the original like prep school guys in the New England area, and he got the job at TP, and they gave him like scholarships and money and shit. So he was like, "Yo, I like him. I seen him. Boom, boom, boom," and that was rap. That's when everything changed. Because once I got up there, I was like, okay, I knew I could dribble. I knew I could shoot. I knew I could play D. And I know how to be a point guard. And I said, if I get a jump shot, it's over. It is over. You know what I'm saying? But I already knew that. Then that football mentality came back. Like, if I get a jump shot, it is over. So, like, literally my first month and a half, and I ain't no bullshit. Like, I had the key to the gym because we stayed on campus. Every morning before practice, I just used to go to the gym, like, cold as shit in the snow. Like, go in the gym and do form shooting.
Yeah.
Literally, I swear, for an hour, you know? And then after school at like 3, we had to play like a sport. Like in prep school, you got to play a sport for every season.
Okay.
So we had to do cross country, and I was like, Coach, I can't do cross country. So he put me in like rec sports. So I would like literally stay at the gym after everything over and just do form shooting. I'd take 2 shots a day because I ain't want to like jinx myself. I wanted everything to be in front. So I literally did that for like the first 3 weeks. Literally, probably took only maybe 6 jumps. I ain't play. I ain't do nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. So now it's time we start playing. Like all the team, we start playing pickup and everything, and then coaches start to come. So I remember the first time I just was shooting, I'm like, damn, like, you know, it's not back here, but now it's like in the front.
Okay.
So now I wasn't making it, but I feel good shooting it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Like the form felt good every time. It felt the same every time. Yeah.
It was the same every. So I'm like, all right, now it's working. So now we're playing. Now I got everything. Like I can dribble, I can shoot, I can pass. And now these coaches, I had another dude on my team, Dontaye Milligan, big guy from New York. He was getting recruited by everybody, Pittsburgh, like all the top schools. So schools was coming up to see him, and they start like fucking with me, like UMass, Dayton, UMass and Dayton was like heavy, like UMass like hit me up. The coach was like, yo, like, listen, we got this guy. If he don't commit, we want you in the 2 signing periods.
Yeah.
He was like, if you don't, he like, you second. Like, we moved you up to second.
Right. Then
the other school was like, we moved you up to second. Like, bigger school. So I'm like, okay.
You was a little intrigued. Did it? I know when you hear that, but then I know you got Kyles and Charleston like still.
Yeah. So that's how it was. So I swear to God, Coach, like literally, like once Coach found, I don't know how he found out. The nigga was up there the next day. Kyles and Charleston shot up.
Yeah.
He shot up the head coach this time. First it was the assistant coach. Head coach shot up, and he was just talking, and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? They made me feel like welcome. He was like, yo, you come in, you're gonna play. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what you're gonna play. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come in and play. And they was threatening me like, yo, like if you don't come, you know, if you don't sign in the first period, like we're gonna have to go with someone else. So I'm like, oh man.
Stressful time.
So I went on a visit and I was like, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I liked it was the South, you know, like the people was cool, everything was cool. So that's how I ended up there. But the prep school was live. I had a breakout season. You know, that was the first time I like averaged, I think I averaged probably like 18 or something like that. First time I got to scoring the ball. Because in high school I wasn't scoring that well. I wasn't really offensive, like, you know, give me the ball and do my thing. But once hold
up. No, my bad. Because we getting there. Because, listen, I don't want to call you baby Allen Iverson, but we getting there. We getting there. Now, look, you signed to Charleston, right? Your confidence is high at this time.
Right.
Look, they saying they're going to put the ball in your hand.
Right.
Give me your mentality. No, give me your mindset. Coming on campus your freshman year, was you nervous that you had all that responsibility? Yeah, I want to get into your mental, your psyche at that time.
So going in my freshman year, like they already had a starting point guard, so I was basically the backup. And coach, you know, I liked about it was Coach Hearn. He was a real one, crazy. And you know, he just said like, you know, you're gonna play your minutes, play defense, basically like Walbrook, not
Okay.
prep school Dre, but like a Walbrook, you know, control the tempo, you know, be a point guard, change the rhythm of the game, you know, and you're gonna play minutes.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. But literally my second day, I had Zeke.
Zeke Johnson.
Was Zeke, let me see, was Zeke there? No, Zeke was there on my visit.
Okay.
So Zeke
Shout
was
out to
there
Zeke.
on my visit. He was there before me.
Mhm.
So Zeke was schooling me on everything when I went there on my visit. And so I went there and like coach literally like kicked me out the second practice.
What?
Kicked me out. Because I wasn't the best practice player, but I did my work before practice and after practice. So I like
Oh,
I was one
you
of
was
those.
one of them. You was one of them.
I get in early, do my shit, and then I just hated doing drills that I think that wouldn't make me better.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to go through the motions, but as soon as we play like competitive something, like we play 5-on-5, 3-on-3, 1-on-1, then I was full on.
Gone.
All the drills and all that, I hated that shit. So nigga kicked me out. Like, you stubborn, get in the locker room. So I'm like, oh shit. But me, my personality, I went to the locker room and I was like, all right.
That's that Baltimore. That's that Baltimore.
So I
that
put my
came out.
shit when I was ready to leave out. And he ran, the assistant coach ran like, no, you can't leave. He want to talk to you. So coach came in there, like, you can't practice, like, toned it down, like, we need you to practice harder, boom, 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 this and that, this and that. And ever since then, it got better. But my first year, I probably only averaged like 3 or 5 points, but I played maybe 18, 20-something minutes, you know, just like point guard role, you know, up and down.
Yeah,
so
I understand that.
It was good, you know what I'm saying?
Now tell us about that summer. Tell the kids about that summer. I want to know how you work out that summer. What you do that summer.
So that's when it took a whole nother level. So after that, that's when Melo made the NBA. Mm-hmm. So Melo went to the league. And that's when everything else changed. Like everything in my life, everything changed. So when Melo made the league.
Shout out to Melo too.
Yeah, so when Melo made the league, it was just like we was in a whole nother like world. So I'll be with him as soon as the season over. Mm-hmm. I go home. As soon as my college season over, I go home to Baltimore, see my family. And then I go straight where he at and we click up. Mm-hmm. So it was literally like working out every day. Like every day, sometimes twice a day, have fun, travel, fucking, you know what I'm saying? It was that type of lifestyle. So,
y'all was getting it in. That was good. You was getting an NBA workout. You started to get an NBA workout. Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
So I was doing that, and then when my summer's over, I'm playing with all these pros, working out with pros and everything. So I'm coming back every summer like charged up. You know what I'm saying? My confidence and my game. Mm-hmm. So every year, so I went from 3 points or 5 points to 12 points. Yeah. And from 12 points to 19 points. You know what I'm saying? It was that. Like every summer I was getting better and I was getting confidence.
Man, you went off your senior year. I don't want to rush it. Because it's like this. Your senior year, you can see the growth in your game from when you even started basketball. You can see the growth in your game. And the confidence just rise and rise and rise. You get to your senior year and you finish. You got your diploma. You didn't get yours either.
I finished.
You gotta go back and get that. You gotta go back and get it. But you did 4 years.
Yeah, but
I know you don't have to.
Yeah, so by again, like going back to Melo, like once I start traveling and meeting people, my mentality, I look at things, how everything start to change, even like mentally, you know what I'm saying? I start looking at shit different. So like even like my sophomore year, I came back, I was kind of tight because my coach didn't start me. Mm-hmm. He said I was gonna start my sophomore year. So we had a transfer. Remember Drew Hall went to Georgetown?
Yeah. Did he get in trouble out there?
Huh?
Did he get in trouble? Did he get in trouble out there or something?
Yeah, something happened like that, and then he came down, and then he started him and another guard my sophomore year. So I'm tight, like he lied to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my sophomore year, I'm coming in there with the like chip on my shoulder. Like I'm getting in the game, like I'm getting mine. Like no more of this point guard shit. So I'm like, I gotta get mine. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming in off the bench and I'm doing my thing, but I also know that I'm finishing games. I didn't start, but coach had me in there with the older guys, so I'm finishing games. You know what I'm saying? So, but that whole season I played with a chip on my shoulder. I went from 3 to 5 to 12.6, 12.5. And then my best summer was going into my junior year, and that was my best season, best scoring season. So,
tell us about that summer.
So that summer, Melo was training for I think he was for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I think they was working out for the Olympics. So as soon as school was over, now we working out like right away. Like we go to DC, he rented a place in DC, and he got the Nuggets people coming down, and he got his personal trainer. And that's when Chris Paul was coming out for the draft.
Okay.
So they all worked out with the same people. So every day, 2 times a day, Melo got a workout ready for the Olympics, and he working out with his trainer.
Hold up. I'm sorry. I apologize, people, but I gotta ask you this, because you worked out with some NBA pros. Did you get a little bit of that Chris Paul smoke?
Yeah, that's what I'm hitting. That's what I'm getting at. So
yeah, go ahead.
So it's every day is me, CP, dude Justin Gray, and I forgot the other dude name. And then like other players were sprinkling in, like Juan Dixon was sprinkling in there. So I'd never forget, like the first day working out with Melo training, like with the Nuggets people, I'm cool because it's good basketball working out. So we working out with Melo training, the dude Edon. So he doing like some drills and I can't even get my footwork right. Boom, boom. I'm like, focus.
Mm-hmm.
So once we start competing like one-on-one, I'm like, damn, like CP nice, but I'm like the other nigga, my man Justin Gray, who's nice too.
Did he go to Wake Forest?
Yep, went to Wake Forest. So we all in there. So I'm like looking back like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like these the guys I watch on TV, but I'm like, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can play with these, you know what I'm saying? I can play with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we start playing games and I'm winning games. Like we do like King of the Hill, I'm winning games. I ain't winning all, but I'm winning something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm locking shit up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so now my confidence, like, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can.
Yeah.
These guys on TV and I can compete with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So that whole summer, but Chris Paul was real.
Yeah.
That's when I realized like, this shit was real. Like the difference between CP was CP can get to his spots. So he could do all that, but he get to his spots. He was crafty. He was the real deal, but it was good work. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I had that all summer.
Yeah. He's strong too.
Yeah. So when I got back to school, my junior year, we playing pickup, and I'm just cooking everybody, like not missing shots, like a pro. So my coach was like, yo, we're going to play you at the 2 this year.
Uh-huh.
So again, I'm like tight. I'm like, no, I want the ball in my hand. He was like, well, you got Drew don't score, boom, boom. So I'm like, fuck it. Coach put me at the 2. It was a wrap. I averaged 19, and I was scoring 30s, boxing ones. And I liked it too, but I hated guarding the 2s. Uh-huh. Because I ain't like to run off screen. You know, it's different when you go out to point guard. Point guard, you stationary, on-ball defender. But when you go out to 2, you got like run off screens, nigga taller than you.
Now you know I had to do my homework. I'm sorry to cut you off. I had to do my homework. And I'm looking at you. Now you said you couldn't shoot before, but your senior year down there, you run off screen. You was a whole bucket. You was a whole bucket down there. Yeah, my 11th, 12th grade, my junior, senior year, I was scoring. But I was also working like every day on my jump shot. And then it became like natural. Like I became a shooter. You know what I'm saying? I became the end like that sophomore year, that summer with Melo, CP. That played a lot too. And Baltimore too. So that was time when Baltimore was I need you to slow up when we get there. Because I heard you had some good games down here too when you came back home in the summertime. Yeah, listen, it ain't gonna be Ted's TV if you ain't gonna know. I ain't talking about you. We don't gotta put nobody down. I just want to know the players that you played with and you played against. Yeah. So coming back to Baltimore, that was a big thing for me too. Because I'm like, now ain't nobody really know me in high school because I wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? But as I went to college and started playing, coming back, my name's starting to like buzz a little bit, but still nobody really knew. Mm-hmm. So I remember like the first real, like I was a senior, like just finished, and down the Melo League. Me, Melo, we had a squad, me, Melo, Gary Neal,
We had a squad, and then we playing. You know, Mo Hatton. You know Mo.
Yeah.
GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He the GOAT. So we playing against Mo. But I'm like, I want it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want, you know what I'm saying, like the city to know me and I know Mo.
Yeah.
So when we matched up, I'm like, I was actually like happy for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. I'm ready. It's thick in there. Like thick. So as soon as jump ball, Mo matched up with me, and then we was like, Mo doing Mo. He came out, got a bucket, you know, and I already had this shit planned out. I'm like, I know I could get some stops, but I'm like, listen, if he scored 2 straight, I'm going to the rack.
Yeah.
No shot blockers. There's no. So that was my mentality. Like, the nigga can't stand and guard me like anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I could get past somebody.
Right.
So
you don't get nobody guard. You know, could nobody stand in front of you. Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can't get past anybody here, then I don't need to be playing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Mo came out doing his shit, the spins and fadeaways, and he's making it.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I'm also coming right back. You know, coming right back. I'm scoring. Like, if he score, I score. He score. You know what I'm saying? It was like that a few times during the game.
Mm-hmm.
He was killing.
Right.
But when he scored on me, I would make sure I go right back. You know what I'm saying? And we won the game, and that's when it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. But that's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted, because I wanted that smoke, because in high school, nobody knew me for, you know, like doing those things. So that was a big part of it too.
Man, see,
back home and playing back home.
That's important. I don't care what nobody say. Those bumps is very important. Those bumps is just as important as the school, because it's a pride thing.
Pride, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can say it don't matter, like, but at the end of the day, like, you hooping in our city, you're doing your thing overseas or whatever, like, you want to come home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to come home and play. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not a long time, but you need to come home and play against the best in front of the city. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. Just say that.
Come home, play against the best in front of your city. You know what I'm saying? At least a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like, younger in your career. Like, if you older,
yes.
Once I got older, I stopped coming back and playing, because I was overseas for fucking 10 months. So I'm like trying to vacation. But like, younger, I wanted that smoke. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, and I get it, because I had a conversation with Mo, and I said, because he was talking about, because Terry and them, the younger guys still want to play him.
Yeah.
I feel as though, like, nah, y'all got to chill now. Chill now. I understand people want the name underneath their belt if they could get the victory and stuff like that. Right. But nah, y'all got right off in the sunset right now. You know what I'm saying? Right off in the sunset.
Like, where was the guy? Like, no, just like, I fuck with Terry game, but I'm like, I think we were around the same age, but like, where was everybody at then? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, and that was even, Mo probably went to, like, he probably was in 3 different primes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mo played in 3 different eras.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my era, in my prime, that was probably Mo, like, last, you know what I'm saying? That was probably he probably was like 30 something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I was probably like 22, 23. Mo probably was like 28. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly. But hold on, because we could talk for days about that. Right. Now let's get into the Pro Bowl.
Right.
Let's get into the Pro Bowl. Now, you finished college at Charleston.
Yep.
You got a draft, and then you got now you're a free agent.
Right.
I see you was in Denver camp. Was that the first camp you was in?
Yeah. So it all worked out like this. Like, and I'm gonna go back, and this kind of helped me too in my career. I never had like aspirations of like going to the NBA. Like I said, I didn't even really like pick up on it fast until like 10th, 11th grade. So my dream wasn't to be in the NBA.
Right.
Like, once I started playing well, I'm like, okay, it's a possibility. I wouldn't mind being in the NBA. But by me hanging around Melo, I'm like, I just want my own fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Because I was living a lifestyle crazy. So I just wanted my own money to support me and my family. So like, coming to like the draft situation, Bobby Crimmins, I ain't even had no agent, nothing, like nothing.
Yeah.
I literally went to, like, this is crazy how it worked. I literally asked Melo agent, like, yo, you want to represent him? He was like, he gave me the runaround. I'm like, yo, just think about it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then he started like paying attention. He was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? He started like looking at my stats and he started watching me play. He was like, all right, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was that. Like, I ain't had to like go through nobody. And I knew he wasn't going to be like the best agent because he got all NBA players. But my whole mindset is I'm going to make it where it's though, like, you're going to have to like do some type of work. I'm going to put the pressure on me. And Bobby Crimmins too. Bobby Crimmins, after the season was over, Bobby Crimmins reached out to like 3 different teams. They all was coming in. So it was like San Antonio, Golden State, and I think it was Sacramento. And no, Washington. It was the Wizards, Sacramento, Golden State, and San Antonio. 3 of those was just Bobby Crimmins. You know, Bobby Crimmins made the call, show love, and a shot out there. And Golden State, shit went perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything went perfect. And then I was just on a fucking, like, traveling here. And
how was that mentally, though? How was that?
Mentally, it was like, by the time I got to San Antonio, so I did all 3 of those. Like, literally, you fly in there, work out, and then you leave, and then fly. Luckily, I only had 3. And then, like, after, like, my 4th one, I went to fucking, rewind it back, I went to Reno, Nevada for a whole month, you know, like, working out, training for all that shit. So that's a whole nother ball game. Then after that, then you start traveling to go to teams. So after Washington, I had to go to San Antonio. San Antonio called, was like, yo, we want to bring you in 6 days for this mini camp, blah, blah, blah. Man, when I tell you, I got to San Antonio, put my shit in like the hotel room, I was like, done. And I'm like, this ain't no fun no more. This is like a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally like put my shit up. Like, I ain't unpacked. I just laid in the bed, ate, woke up the next morning, and then we had to like work out like 6 days a week. 6 days, 2 times a day, and we was doing like training camp. That was cool.
Who was in there with you? Any other players?
So it was the guards. So the guards at that time was me. Remember Darius Washington? Yeah. Me, Darius Washington, C.J. Watson.
What happened to Darius Washington?
Darius Washington went to Memphis.
Yeah, I know. Out of that,
yeah, it was, and then C.J. Washington. So that's the 3 guards I remember. You know what I'm saying? We battled it out, and let me tell you how crazy this shit was, right? So I played well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played well, and I'm like, Melo and them was in Vegas for the USA team training camp. So I'm like, fuck this. I need to get out of here. That's like mentality. Like, once it was over, I'm flying to Vegas to live a life. Yeah. I get a call from my agent like, yo, San Antonio want to bring you back. So I'm like, fuck that. Like, I ain't going.
You like, I ain't coming back. You ain't trust it?
It was like, I was big on feeling, you know what I'm saying? Shit, like,
they show wasting your time.
They show love, but they weren't really like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really feel it. So I wanted to be in Vegas anyway. So I wanted to be in Vegas. And then, what's the name? It was crazy. What's the name went back? Darius Washington went back, and he actually got on he made like the roster.
Like, that was crazy. I know you like, man. Man, you was hurt. Yeah.
Vegas though, you know, like, I kind of like, I was used to all that, man, like traveling, and then I was
hold up real quick.
Then, I was done. And then I went to, so the beginning of that summer, I had did forgot about that. In that summer, I did the Nuggets Summer League. It was a favor from Melo and my agent. They got me on that. But once I was on there, all the coaching staff. So
hold on, because Hold on, we skipped a little bit. Let me pause. All right, continue. Go ahead, continue.
So to all like the 3 workouts, and I forgot to put that in. I had some lead with the Nuggets. Like I knew the this and everything. And the Nuggets, I like the Nuggets situation. They literally told one like, but if you get to Vegas, if you play, it's gonna be a lot of coaches, a lot.
Here we go.
Back.
Here we go. Look, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, it's just that was crazy. That was me about to call you.
Yeah. So
let's get be back at it.
In the midst of that, before the San Antonio stuff, I forgot to say I played some league with the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Nuggets because they were like, yo, like, it was like a favor, which it was, but also they knew I could hoop too because I've been playing with them every summer. So when I got there, they let everybody know, like, we might only take one person.
Okay. So
everybody just don't be stressed. We're gonna play to win. And I love that because it was real. You know, like, you know how people go to an NBA team and they trying to make the team?
No, I don't, Tay. No, I don't, Tay. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know, Tay.
Yeah, but you know, when people go to these teams, they just try to do so much to make the team instead of even being themselves.
Okay.
So the Nuggets like tell everybody like, yo, it's like we might only take in one person, but we want everybody to play and enjoy that summer league. We got a lot of good players, and it was real. Mm-hmm. So I worked my way in. I came right in playing.
Yeah.
But like, I think that year it was like Bracy Wright, like a lot of known players, and I was getting minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew what I wasn't trying to like really. I was just trying to hoop and maybe get a job overseas, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. And after that, that's when I went to that San Antonio minicamp. And I was like, I'm tired.
I'm done.
I'm tired. Yep. And then
you saw that. Let me ask you something. All right. Because you said I was just tired. I was tired. Like the NBA, I know that's a whole nother monster, right? But now you got these NBA teams on your resume though, and that's an accomplishment in itself. Because everybody don't get invited to no NBA camp. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not good enough for to even get to that level. So I'm tipping my hat to you right now for that. Now let's tell the people how you became one of the best Euro players.
So it happened. So my first year, and it's crazy. Like again, like my agent didn't even give me he negotiated my first contract, but he didn't give me the fucking deal. Like he didn't work. When I was in Vegas for summer league, they trying to get me to Europe.
Okay.
So at that time, I'm kind of skeptical because I heard a lot of stories about like niggas not getting paid, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, first deal was in like Slovenia somewhere. It was like some other in Turkey. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I want to wait on other offers.
Right.
So they was like, ain't no other offers. So my assistant coach from the Nuggets, Coach Mike Dunlap, he was like, yo, I got a team, I got a coach that'll be great for you in Australia. He was like, yo, you go there, you know, you do your 1 year, you learn, and you come back and try to lead again. But he's a great coach. So I'm like, okay, I could do Australia. You know, they speak English. Mm-hmm. So I tells my agency, they was like, nah, that's not your market. We not, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to go that route. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, shit. So like, whatever. So I go from there, I go to Denver. So I'm in Denver not doing, like, I'm at Mellow Crib, you know what I'm saying? Like, waiting on something to come up. Nothing coming up.
What measure is why they say that they wasn't trying to go that route?
Because they didn't want to go to Australia because they want to go to Europe or the NBA because Europe is a better competition. You can make more money, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't even looking at it like that. I'm like, I'm just going to hoop overseas. So I go back to Denver with Melo. So it's around like late August, September. And now everyone is signing deals, everyone is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fucking in Denver. And one morning I woke up like 4 a.m, like Denver time, get a call from my agent like, yo, we're gonna have to jump on the Australian joint. They sent the offer, you know what I'm saying? It's like 6 months, like 15. I want to talk about money, but it was like like 15 grand a month. And that was like 2 times higher than the European contracts I was getting, like that I was offered. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm taking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the paperwork at, and I'm ready to leave.
Right.
And again, like they didn't even really have to do much. That came off of the assistant coach from the Nuggets, because I was working out there every summer, and they liked me, and they took a liking to me. So I go to Australia. Coach ended up putting me on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's rare, you know. Like, usually, like, when you go overseas the first couple of years, nigga, you got the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
you the market.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You the import. So, nigga, I get there. Coach wanted to switch things up, wanted to bring me off the bench. So I'm like tight, but he also like giving me the rock.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm on the court, he like, everything goes through me. Like, everything goes through me. Learning process, and I became like 6th man of the year, and it was cool. I hurt my hamstring at the end of the year, mm-hmm. But I recovered, and then like over there, their season's over in March, like a 6-month season.
Okay. So
when I finished over there, getting European offers to finish the season in Europe.
All right.
Again, I was also living that other crazy lifestyle with Melo, so I'm like.
You was kind of like.
I'm like, nah, I want to enjoy my summers because I had my bread that I made for 6 months. Yeah. And I'm going to shoot straight to Denver with my bread, living that lifestyle. So I told my agent, like, nah, I'm still hurt. You know, I ain't really want to go over yet.
Yeah.
So my first year was great. You know what I'm saying? We lost in the championship, but it was a great year. I got 6th man of the year. Like, I played well. I was like 16, 17. And then that was a great first year.
What? Tell was it your first being over there? What's some of the major adjustments that you had to make?
Well, in Australia, Australia was lit, and it was like the best place you could go because they spoke English. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a big adjustment. But my next year was.
Let's get into it.
That was hard.
Was it the next year? Was that you stay in Australia or did you go to Europe?
No. Craig, this is a long segment. You want all of it? Or
yeah, I want all of it.
This is a long.
I want all of it.
So we go back. Look, so we go back my second year, and I played Summer League again with the Nuggets, and actually played well. Mm-hmm. I signed to play in Turkey. I signed like literally a contract to play in fucking Turkey. Recent. 3 days before I leave, coach called me and was like, yo, they took down the sponsorship, you know, like we're not gonna coach you next season. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you know, like there's no team, there's no nothing. So
I'm like, what?
I'm like, damn. So again, I'm like, now I'm in Baltimore. Like, literally, I heard this at my grandmother's house in Baltimore. I'm like, damn. So I hit my agent. Guess who my agent is? This nigga's in China with Melo. You know what I'm saying? With the USA team.
Okay.
So he all the way over there. So I'm telling him, like, yo, like, what we going to do? And he's hitting me back crazy hours later. Like, we're going to find something, you know, dealing with my European agent. Like, we're going to find something. So in the meantime, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and shoot to Miami. Mm-hmm. Like, remember Jack McClinton?
Yeah. Jack a whole, shout out to Jack too, because he a whole bucket from Miami, played down Cecil City.
Yeah. So I went to go see Jack in Miami because he still had another year left. So I went down there, hang out with him. And like literally to my last day in Miami, we had a pool party. I get a call, like random number gets a call. Hey, boom, boom, boom. It's just such and such from the Miami Heat. I heard you're in town. You know, we got a mini camp. We would like you to join us. I'm like, looking at my phone like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like how?
Yeah,
Like how? And so I tell Jack, he like, shit, do it. He's like,
yeah.
all right. So I'm like, yo, like, my flight leave tomorrow. He's like, no, don't worry about none of that. We're gonna put you in a hotel. Boom, boom, boom. You good. So this is the time when they drafted Mike Beasley and Mario Chalmers.
Okay.
So they put me, like, literally put me in a hotel, everything. So like the first day of fucking minicamp, one of the guys had like literally tore his ACL, point guard. He was on like a non-guaranteed deal. Tore his shit up. And I'm hooping, like defense, making all my open shots, like everything. By the third day, I'm hitting my agent like, yo, like someone need to be here, like, you know, representing me. Like I'm like Pat Riley talking to me, like somebody need to be here. So I'm in my hotel room, like, man, I don't even know who the head coach at this time, because it was like, I don't know. So I Googled, and it was the guy, it was Spoelstra, and that was his first year. So Spoelstra is talking to me the whole time. He ain't acting like no head coach. You know, he's young, he's talking with everybody. So I'm like, damn, this guy been talking to me every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? Because he liked the way I play.
Yeah.
So listen, so I'm like, I'm barking on my agent like, yo, what's going on? Like, are we going to do something, like going to training camp? And then next day, the fourth day, my European agent like, yo, we got a deal for you right now to go to Italy. It was good money. I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. You know what I'm saying?
Did it feel like, you know what? This might be the shot right here.
That's what I felt, because out of all the workouts I've been to in the mini camps, no one ever like had one-on-one conversations with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like in Miami Heat organization, it's real. Like Pat Riley ran that shit totally different than any other situation. Like practice is hard as shit. Like running sprints and all that. You gotta wear knee pads. Like that shit hard. Miami shit different. So that was the first time like I had someone like talking to me every day. So I'm telling my agent, like, yo, like, nah, like this, I want to stay here, boom, boom, boom. So my real agent, like not the European one, he called like, okay, I'm getting on the phone with Pat Riley tomorrow and see what the situation is. Next day I go to practice. At the practice, Pat Riley sat me down, like one-on-one. He was like, man, you know, we love you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, we know you got a deal on the table. He was like, you know, we can bring you to training camp, but you might not make the team because Chris Quinn is kind of like partially guaranteed, and we like him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll bring you to camp, but there's no guarantee that you're going to work out. So he was like, I would tell you, you know, take the contract in Naples and we're going to monitor you the whole time. I'm like, I'm hurt. Not hurt, but I'm like, damn. You know?
And I know you like, man, I killed Quinn.
I was doing my thing all week. You know what I'm saying? They liked it because of my defense. You know what I'm saying? They liked it because of my defense, and I could make the open shot. And that was it. Like I wasn't like diming nobody. I was just like playing D, running the show, making my open shots. So I remember going back to the hotel, signing the contract to go to Italy, and I literally had to leave like the next day.
Wow. So that's that life. That's crazy.
So I go to Italy, go to Naples, and Mo Hatton hit me. Mo Hatton hit me and was like, yo, like, well, because he was playing in Italy too.
Okay.
I was like, yo, like, welcome. You know, this is my first time in Europe. I was like, yo, welcome. Boom, boom, boom. He was like, yo, like, if you need anything, like, as an OG, like, yo, if you need anything, hit me, let me know. He was like, but your team, make sure your agent, you know, like, stay on them because they know they still owe people money, you know, from last year.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I told my agent, and then we start playing. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, coach loved me and everything, but then it was like, we're supposed to get paid.
Yeah, that's like, where that money at, where that bread?
I was there for like 2 weeks, and we were supposed to get paid. And we had a tournament. We played against Mo. Played against Mo, and Mo, you know, he was schooling me on different shit. And like the next week after that, like the players, they had like a meeting, like, fuck that, we ain't playing enough, we get paid, blah, blah, blah. And I told them, like, I can't participate because I don't know. I got to talk to my agent first.
Right.
I can't sit out like I don't know what I'm doing. I said I'm gonna talk to my agent, get back, and the older guys they respected that because I like the other guys that was like, no, I ain't playing. I'm like, nigga, I don't even know
what's going on. Let me get some clarity first.
Let me see what's going on. So I called my agent. He was like, yo, play because you need the footage. You know what I'm saying? If anything goes wrong, you need footage. So I came back the next day and I was like, yo, I'm playing. And then we all went up to go play. So we went to a tournament and literally we go for breakfast. We had a meeting. 1 week before the season started.
Don't tell me.
They said, sorry to tell y'all this, but, they kicked us out the league, because of tax evasion.
So you like that confirmed everything right there.
Everything. So I'm over there for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and done. Now it's like beginning of the season. I have no team, no nothing. But I ain't tripping because I had some bread from the season before.
Yeah. So
I was like, fuck, like no team, no nothing. I'm just over there. And then I was over. Remember Gary Forbes?
Yeah, the Bucket. He was a whole Bucket. Did he go to Manhattan?
UMass.
All right. I knew
so it was me and him, and that was his first year out. So he's stressing. He's still worrying about the NBA draft and everything. And he turned down great money. He was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't want to do this. So my agent sent me an offer in France, like less money, but I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it. Went to France, miserable, like miserable. Me and the coach didn't get along. Mm-hmm. It was hard adjustment for me because like being a point guard, it's different over there. Like you got to know how to run the show. You got to know how to do this. He kept yanking me in, yanking me out. Nobody, and I was in the south of France too, but I ain't know the difference.
Okay.
Beautiful, but language, no girls, I was stressed.
Man, I know that played a part on your game.
Stressed. So, like I said, God works mysterious ways. So we had an older nigga on our team. So we were playing 2 different competitions, like a European competition and a French. So in the European competition, the older guys.
What's the difference between the 2?
So it's a big difference. So it's hard to explain. Like it's like 5 different levels. So you got the highest level is EuroLeague. Mm-hmm. So EuroLeague is the best teams from each country, not each country, like all the best teams in Europe from all over. And you play once or twice per week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thick shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's Euro Cup. It's the second best. It's the same shit.
Okay.
You play once or twice per week. And then you got 2 other ones that's like Euro Challenge and everything. So I was on the lowest bottom, but it was still European competition.
Okay.
So you play against other European teams, not just teams from France.
Okay. I got you.
You get more exposure. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing like shit in the French league. And then we go to the European competition. And the older guys, they don't give a fuck about that because they don't want to travel. Traveling is bullshit, everything. So they stay back. So
they stay back.
They made like injured, you know what I'm saying? Because they already played you know what I'm saying? They don't really want to travel, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not the best situation, but it's okay.
You can make up for something. Oh, my back hurt. I can't travel today.
The older guys was like, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. So I don't know the difference. We go there. Now I'm playing 38, 40 minutes a game. So you can't take me out.
Now you give a whole buck.
Oh my God, now that goes off. So now I'm averaging, so in this European competition, I'm averaging 18, like 8, like something crazy. And in the French league, I'm averaging like 11. So literally making a long story short, like my 4th or 5th game, I go off like 22, 11, something crazy. I get the call from my agent, like, yo, we got a team that want to buy you out. So I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm still miserable over there. Like, I'm still going through it. He was like, yo, Italian team, they want to pay you such and such amount of money. and they're gonna pay your team such and such amount of money, and you just change teams. So I'm like, hell yeah, get me the fuck out of here. So I go to the coach and was like, no, such and such, because they gotta agree to release me.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that, and the coach said no. So now I'm like, now the Baltimore come out with me. So now I'm like how you gonna say no? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have the best relationship, and it's like how you? I'm going from making this amount to like this amount, like that. Like how you gonna say no?
Right.
Like, you know, we banked up right now. We just need you, you know, until such and such. I'm like, no, I need to go.
Right.
So like, well, we can't release you right now. So now I'm tight.
I know you're real hot now. They playing with your bread now.
Yo, so now I'm tight. So now I hit my agent like, yo, he was like, yo, just stay calm, boom, boom, boom. The team from Italy, they like, yo, we need you now. Like, we need you to make a decision now. That's dead. Lost them that bread. So the next game, you know what I did? I laid the dub. Like I ain't taking no shots. I ain't nothing. Like I don't even play.
Right.
He gets the beefing at the end of the game. Blah blah blah. And then I'm like, yo, like why you didn't let? Like I don't understand. So he was like, well, we can't let you leave right now. You signed a contract to be with us. I'm like, whatever. So literally, that deal is done. We had another game in Cyprus. I goes off again. Another team called me in Belgium. More money.
Wow.
So I'm like, I told my agent, I said, I don't give a this. I'm out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the Belgian team, they paid them like 70 grand, something like that. And my shit went from single digit a month, double. You know what I'm saying? Like overnight.
Yeah.
So I packed my shit up, took the train, changed teams to Belgium, and then my life was different ever since. Like for that money, like the first year it was like 7 grand a month in France, and then it went to a lot more. So I'm like, okay, I can do this now. You know what I'm saying? So now I wasn't stressed. So now, and ever since then, it got crazier.
Tell the people, before we get up out of here, I want you to tell the people about when your Mac was on the same team out there. Yeah.
So me and Mac, so that became like my last 2 years. So when I was in Real Madrid, I played 2.5 years, and I was like, I knew I was coming to an end. So, but I also knew Malcolm was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So after I'm playing in Turkey, I'm like, I need something to go out strong. So I knew Malcolm was already in Russia. So Malcolm and the coach hit me up and was like, yo, we want you on the team, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, it's a big team, but it's not like, it's a big money team, but it's not like a big name team, if that makes sense. Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Competition, but it's like,
you can get your bread, but it's like
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But that's kind of shit. That's kind of what you should be looking for. Is you almost over. You want to play. You want your bread, but you like, if I can get it easier, I'm with that too. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right. So I like put everything together, talk to my agents. I'm like, okay, let me call Malcolm. So I hit Malcolm, and I just told him how I felt. I'm like, listen, I already know what you want to do this year because I know Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you had your best year. I want to come, but how is the team? Like, how is they paying on time? Is they doing this? Is they doing that? He was like, yo, it's straight. They cool. They paying. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I want to back you up. Like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to back you up, teach you. You know what I'm saying? And he was
that. Like, you was, You know
what I'm saying? That's how I vision it. Mm-hmm. So we made it happen. That shit worked out literally how I said. First, when I got there, first coach tried to start us together. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out because I'm like older and I'm like, and Malcolm was playing the 2. So I'm like, yo, we want you to coach. And I'm like Malcolm, tell him, you know what I'm saying? Because Malcolm had a good relationship with the coach. Me too, but Malcolm had more. He was there already a year before with the organization. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, I don't want to start, you know what I'm saying? Like, put you at the 1 and we're gonna work like that. We're gonna finish the game together, but like start you at the 1. They listened, and it was over ever since. Malcolm destroyed that shit, like killed, like his best season, right? Best season, killing everybody. So it was like a really good tandem, you know, because it was like we was bringing the toughness, and Malcolm was doing his job, I was doing my job, like no egos. It was just like that year was amazing. It brought me back. So after that year, I'm thinking I'm done. I get another bag, go back to Real Madrid, just because we went to the Final Four.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: how you felt when it was? Did your body tell you it was time to quit, or did you know, you like, I don't, you know, sometimes it's like you could eat, sleep, and smell basketball, but then when you feel like it's done, it's like I hoop later on, or I work out later on. Like you start putting in the back burners. So you like you kind of know like it's over. When did you know it was over?
I knew it was over. It was crazy that I knew it was not over, but like going down that way, like my last year at Real Madrid. Like Real Madrid kind of like, it was the best thing that happened to me. And Real Madrid is like the biggest team.
Yeah.
It was the best thing and the worst thing because I went there, like I had to go back and play Walbrook Draper.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I experienced that before, so I went back. When I went to Real Madrid, we was loaded.
Is that what Luka was on that team?
Yeah, Luka was young. You know what I'm saying? Like my first year, Luka was 13, and then he moved up. And his last year, we played together in 2017.
You knew he was gonna be that? That y'all knew he was gonna be?
Hell yeah.
This, so, like this?
Easy. He did that to grown men. He was the MVP to grown men at 18 years old in the highest league in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, the second best league in the world.
Yeah, I love Luka, man. I love Luka.
But yeah, so like Real Madrid kind of like make me stop working out because I was getting bread and I was only playing like 10 to 15 minutes per game. And I was like doing what I did in high school. So that shit was easy to me. So I'm like, what? You gonna pay me this to go in the game and just do, maybe take one shot, just be like a point guard and run the show? I'm like,
oh, this is easy.
Oh, this is easy, but it was also like affecting my ego too because I'm like, I'm coming off the MVP season in Europe and then I go to Madrid. I can't even get fucking 20 minutes, 15 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna pay me this amount of money to do this, it was like kind of like gift and a curse. But then I stopped working out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My summers became more lit, traveling. I stopped thinking about who. You know what I'm saying? I just stopped.
Right.
And like my last couple of years, I just knew it was enough. I knew it was enough because I'm like, I have to go back down in competition. In Europe, the older you get, you got to go down in competition. And when you go back down, it becomes more harder. Like the coaches are way more aggressive. Practice is becoming hard. And I'm like, I can't do it. You know, and I stopped at 33.
And look, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Because it sounds like you did what you're supposed to do with your money.
Right,
and can you tell the people the importance and taking care for the kids that's going overseas that may have to take the journey, how it's important to have your finances in order. Like I know anybody gonna be 100% like you gonna make some mistakes.
No, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people get it, you know, misconstrued. Like people like that's hooping right now. They be like, oh, I'm gonna go overseas. I'm gonna go overseas to get the bag. That's not it. Like it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like really like work your way all the way up. So like you gotta like if your dream is the NBA, try the NBA. Like try the NBA till you can't try no more. And then after go overseas, make your bread. But that shit ain't easy. That shit ain't easy. Like your first couple of years, nigga, like you gotta wash your own shit. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Cold ass gym practicing, and then it's like you come home. I tell a lot of people they come home, and a lot of people probably only making 5 or 7, you know, whatever the case may be, and they spinning and balling in the club. You know, I play overseas, but like guys that play over there, they know like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, say your bread. You want to be like stunting and show everybody you play overseas, but you can like literally find a job in America and get paid more You know what I'm saying? If you really get technical, like, yo, save your bread. When you're over there for 10 months, you don't need to spend a lot of bread. Save it, stack it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people spend it. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of times, coming from our neighborhoods, we don't know, I ain't gonna say the value of money, but we really don't know how money works. Like, we ain't been taught the financial literature, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like a gift and a curse, but that could be a whole nother topic in itself.
It can be, you know what I'm saying? That's what, and I be telling people, because people like see like my lifestyle and how I post things and do things, but they don't realize like I built a network of connections through like, again, like through Mellow since I was 18. So a lot of times my lifestyle is like, half of the time, like I pay for a lot of shit, but a lot of times I know the right people to get in the right situations. You know what I'm saying? So it might, from outside looking in, it might look crazier than what it is, but that's actually what I'm doing, but I'm actually not paying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying without having to say too much.
Right. You know
of your
what I'm
business,
saying?
you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people, you know, like try to keep up with the Joneses and live like this. Man, you better be comfortable with yourself, make the money, and then find the ways to keep making it.
Already. Now listen here, Tate. I like to thank you for joining the platform, man. The platform.
It's you, man.
The platform open. Every time you need to talk about anything, you come on here by yourself and talk, man. I'm gonna post this today because I'm tired of people cussing me out in my inbox. You know what I'm saying? So again, I want people to like, share, keep supporting Taz TV. Draper.
Taz TV, baby.
Yeah, listen. Taz TV, over and out. Draper.
What's up with your hat though?
Oh, I mean, the champions. I mean, one thing about y'all Ravens. See, I ain't even get on y'all yet. See, I ain't even get on y'all yet because y'all play. Who y'all got the first game?
We got Cleveland.
Y'all got Cleveland. Y'all playing Odell. See, y'all gonna beat Cleveland. Odell got females defecating on him and all that right now, so he going through some things. So you know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna get this one. Y'all gonna get this little W right here. But don't nobody think that y'all gonna win no Super Bowl. Not me over here. I say that.
All right, big fan.
All right, baby.
All right.
What? Oh, that was good.